Hey, everybody. It's a little early. It is a Tuesday. Tomorrow, we're going to have another whole show. We're going to be talking with Mike Floros. We're going to be talking some Love and Chains tomorrow, so hang tight for that. This is my second take. Why is that? Because I guess I forgot to start myself a minute ago. That's what happens when you do things on different days, right? So anyway, tonight, as you can see, we do have a vinyl confession. It's a very important one to me because it deals with one of my favorite bands that I've just seen live. But before that, we've got a bit of a concert review. So a week ago Saturday, which would have been what, the 11th? That can't be right. Anyway, I went and saw the show over at Pops just across the river that I mentioned before. And as I was talking with Sonny from Divine Sorrow, who was on the show recently, he had mentioned to me that Symphony X was coming, which didn't make me happy that I didn't know that at the time. There's a lot that still needs to happen with things. So those are the things that will grow with the show. All right. Anyway, needless to say, everything happens for a reason, and it happens when it should. So I found out about that show, immediately gave my buddy Mike LaPond a quick call, and I said, we need to chat. We need to talk and see what's going on with you guys. So he said, love to see it, man. So came time, and he hooked me up. We actually went out and had a little bite to eat. I invited him to go out and hang out. So here's the from the Symphony X website, and I've put some of the websites and links in down below, so be sure and check those out. But you can see they're on the road with special guest Heathen, because they both appeared at this Milwaukee Metal Fest. Look at this: Blind Guardian, Camelot, Symphony X, Destruction. So many of these bands. As it gets smaller, I can't read it anyway, but Hatebreed, they had Mr. Bungle, Testament, all these bands. So what an amazing, they had Hammerfall there, an amazing lineup of bands. Now, here was the thing too, is that while they were playing, here is the Heathen lineup currently. So this was in the green room at the venue just after St. Louis. I believe this was in Indianapolis. That's where they were off to after they left here. So anyway, they had mentioned in their live show here. I'll put one of these up, and here we go. There's a nice, cool shot. I got a few good shots. Some of them were blurry, but I didn't choose those for tonight. I went ahead and had a chance to go through them a little bit, there we go. Really cool. I tell you what, I went into this place. I'd never been to Delmar Hall, and I didn't know that's where they were. I didn't know that's where they were playing. So when my buddy Sonny and I from Divine Sorrow were talking, he said, yeah, Symphony X is coming. I was like, what? So he said, I think they're coming to this place. It wasn't that place. He said, they're coming to Delmar Hall. And I'm like, cool, because I've never been there before. I know it's right by the pageant, but I didn't know where. So I looked it up. It was awesome. I got a hold of my friend, Mike LaPond. So I may have already mentioned that. So anyway, we made a plan. Let's go out, get something to eat. We can hang out for a little bit and chat. So it was great. Mike and I had done that years ago when the family and I had gone out to New York, and he was there in New Jersey and has now since moved. But he was living in Jersey, and he drove up, and we met at the Hard Rock Cafe while I was hanging out with John Ostrowski there, and with the family. And so then he and I went running around while my family went to go see Spamalot. So we'd been able to do that before. And it was cool, but things have changed. Life is different. So he's moved, and so we got to catch up and do all that kind of stuff. And we talked about all kinds of stuff. Talked about Symphony X, talked about Silent Assassins. Silent Assassins, that's another thing you guys can check out. Mike LaPond's Silent Assassins, 3 releases as Silent Assassins. So check those out. But Delmar Hall, I'd never been there before. It's a cool, intimate venue. Like I say, it's right across the parking lot, drive from the pageant. And it's, you go in, there's the bars in the back, merch booth is in the back, and then you just walk forward. There's some dividing areas there and tables and chairs. And then, of course, I went all the way down the front. That's how you're getting pictures like this, because I'll immediately go down to the front. And just a great show. These guys sounded great. David said at one point, he's like, we've never been to St. Louis. And he goes, I don't know why. He goes, you guys are great, man. He loved the crowd. The crowd was in, man. I was thrashing head. It was awesome. There you go. There's the drummer. So that's their new drummer. And his name is Ryan Idris, or Ryan Idris. I do believe he's from Canada. And it was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard to find some info about that, because it's all so brand new. So look at this. They were just having a great time with the crowd. They were killing it. I knew of a couple of songs that they were going to play. And fortunately, those were the songs they played at the end. So here's the set list. You'll see there, they have their intro, and they did Dying Season, Opiate of the Masses, Empire of the Blind. They did The Blight, Breaking the Silence, and Hypnotize. Breaking the Silence from their first album, and Hypnotize. Those are the 2 songs that I knew they were going to be playing, and just killed it. I mean, they were all over it. I made a playlist beforehand so that I could listen to Symphony X. I did look up the set list. I don't normally like to do that. However, I had such a short time to prepare for this show that I wanted to make sure I knew what they were playing, instead of just throwing on all the records and not having enough time to get into all of it and know what they were going to play. Kind of like a test where you're studying for everything. And then these little things are all you really needed to study. So I was like, I better look up their set list. So I did. I was glad I did, because then I made a playlist of just those songs. And it was great. I knew exactly what they were going to play, and I was ready for everything. So like I say, Mike and I went out, we got to hang out. And as we were having some dinner, I'm like, when do you need to be back? And he was like, we go on at 9. So I said, we got plenty of time. So here we are in the backyard. That's at my house. And it was really cool. He's got his end of the tours there. And I got my Maiden shirt on there, but yeah, it was cool. That was cool. So then we got to hang out for a little bit, and then made it back to the venue in plenty of time. And Heathen was on stage when I got there. So then I got to see them play. Now, Heathen said from the stage, David said, never been to St. Louis. So that was cool. But then they said they'd be back at the merch booth, which was cool, but I wasn't going to give up my front row spot. I mean, I wasn't right on the barricade piece where I like to be, but just second row, basically, stand right behind it. So I wasn't giving that up to go to the merch booth. So I just kind of hung out, and I got myself a shirt. They have these shirts. I love this record, the Odyssey. So I had to get it. And on the back, it has their logo, and it says 30th anniversary on it. So I'd gotten that earlier, had a few things to have them sign. I'll show you those here in a minute. And then it was great, though. They finished the whole Symphony X set. They did their encore. We got them to come back up. They had their songs I knew that they were going to be playing. So then, let me see here. Let me show you some of the shots here then before I go on. There you go. There's Michael Romeo on guitar. And that's the Heathen tour list. Let's see. Here's Mike. Now, this isn't the most beautiful shot of all, but the lighting was so crazy on it that I was like, that looks really kind of cool. So I kept it in for you guys. And there we go. There's a better shot of Mike, and a little bit different lighting. Same moment there, doing some finger tapping on the neck. This was towards the end of the show when he was doing the introductions. So there's Russell Allen introducing Mike. There's Russell up front. Now, if you want to talk about this guy is in my list of top vocalists of all time in hard rock and metal. This guy works his ass off, and he just rules the crowd when he gets up there. He's just got it. It's just crazy. So anyway, but really, really cool. Really cool. And then here you go. There's a cool wide shot. Jason Rulo, Michael Pinella up there behind the keyboards and the drums. So that's the whole band there. So, I mean, you've seen the whole band now. Here's the set list. They had Iconoclast. They opened up with that title track. Nevermore, Inferno, Serpent's Kiss, Without You was fantastic. Every one of these songs. Inferno is one of my all-time favorites. That's the opening track to the Odyssey album. But Serpent's Kiss, but this Without You track is just so gorgeous. Helen Back, Dehumanized, Evolution, which is from I'm going to say the first album that I ever heard from them. It's from 5 and the New Mythology, and just such a great, awesome, killer record. Sea of Lies. You can see title track to Paradise Lost there, Run with the Devil, and Set the World on Fire. So just fantastic set list, great songs, and just a lot of fun. There's the setup with no band. This was after when I was trying to get a set list. I still can't believe I couldn't get a set list. There was just too many people looking for them, and I don't know how, you catch somebody's eye, but it just doesn't happen. So I chose to take a few things with me. The only thing about this is that I think Michael Romeo played on this album. And here's the funny part about it. This is Michael Pinella's solo record. And so I had him autograph that. There you go. It's right there. And then when I had Michael Romeo's solo, and I had Michael Romeo signed it. And then I was looking at the liner notes at night outside with these eyes, trying to read teeny tiny type. And I just I couldn't see it well enough. And so I had the booklet out still when I had Michael Pinella sign his solo. And I said, "You played on this, right?" And he said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Okay, that's what I thought. That's why I had it out." My favorite album is the Odyssey, and there is a brand new thing. If you want to check it out, they have vinyl available now for 3 of their albums: Paradise Lost, and the Odyssey, and Underworld. So these albums all have vinyl out for them now. Now they're colored vinyl. I do believe all of them are. And I really want to get the Odyssey. The tough part for me was is price. Again, I told Mike, I said, I need to talk to you about how this works and how much things actually cost. I need to start talking to people, because I've talked about it before. It's rough how much things cost. You have to make a decision as to whether or not you really need it. So here's the problem then too, is that we like to get the vinyl. Why? Those of us of my age or near my age, we love to, hey, Salvatore, how's it going? See if you agree with this, Salvatore. The tough thing is we enjoy all those years of having vinyl, right? Now look at this here. This is a great example. I don't have these in vinyl. So here, I picked these out because I had, I'll be showing it to you here in a second, but Russell Allen, I was going to have him sign, one of these. I wasn't going to take them all. That's just too much. I don't mind fanboying a little bit, but it can get out of hand. So I picked and choosed and picked, whatever. The only other thing I would have Russell autograph next time I see them is some of the Arion stuff, because that's and Star One. I'd love to have him sign my Star One book. That's a special damn thing to me. You know what? I don't know. I might have him sign the DVD instead. I about lost it when I was gifted that by my wife, a DVD of Star One live. It blew me away. I didn't know it existed, and never thought I'd have it. So, but anyway, here's the some signatures there. I got the Odyssey autographed there on the front and on the inside, by my friend, by Mike LaPont, sent that, did put that in there on the inside. And then here's something else that I want to talk about in a minute, but here you go. Here's the Alan Landy. The Revenge is the one I took with me to have him sign. So that was really cool. Those are great. Check out the Battle, especially the first two, the Battle and the Revenge. Really, really good. The other one here that I have, the Showdown, it's pretty good, but it wasn't as exciting as those other two. Now I got to remember which one has, oh man, this one has Hunter's Night. I mean, come on. This whole album is great, but I think one of my all-time favorites is on Master of Sorrow. Yep. Master of Sorrow is on the one I had him autograph. Just a great song. Great song. So here we go. 45 plus 33 is a 78. Oh my God. I never thought about that. Holy crap. That's really interesting. Which, of course, it's 78 and a third, though, right? But that's really cool. Then I went ahead and it's had them sign this too. It's signed in the booklet on the inside. But here's the brand new Heathen album, though the latest, shall I say? Shouldn't say brand new. I think it's just the latest, and it's called Empire of the Blind. So there is the latest Heathen album on CD. It is available on vinyl as well. But here's the thing about the vinyl. Growing up, we would buy these albums, right? I mean, I've shown these a million times. These are just what I have on hand here because I'm going to be having an opening. But, here they are. I mean, these things are huge. These, comparatively speaking, when I'm talking about this, can you imagine that cool artwork on something this big and in a gatefold that you get to look at, and you have all kinds of interesting stuff on the inside that you can check out? And then let's face it, it's a little simpler than putting out a digipack and having to put out a whole booklet. All of this stuff can go in a sleeve on the inside. You can gatefold that album just like you're doing here, and basically the silly part is you have a digipack that has the same artwork on the inside as the front cover. So I don't quite get it that way. I don't know. But you could do that on your inside gatefold, right, of a vinyl, and then you have this huge piece of artwork, which is complete on the outside for the whole gatefold. And then you have plenty of room here to put all the listing of songs on the back of the album. And I don't know. It just, they have the lyrics in here and sketches of the art. I don't, yeah, I mean, there you go. It's a great package here, but it's teeny tiny, you know? So that was my point. With the Odyssey, I love the album cover artwork. I love the artwork on all their stuff. The really cool part was when they did Paradise Lost, that album cover was done by one of the artists who was working on the King Kong movie. Mike told me all about that, that he was a huge fan and just wanted to do some artwork for them. And they're like, yeah, I mean, if you're cool with that. So that's where that artwork came from. But, you know, I want to get it in this huge format like that, right? But it's like $36, I think, which is in and itself not the worst price. Judas Priest brand new one is $40 or more when you buy it new. But it's 36 and I was going to get it, but then the shipping is like, it put it up to just under $50. And I'm like, oh my God. So I opted not to do it. And then Mike said that they had them at the show. Well, I got to the show, it was $50. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? I really want to get this, but what do you do? I don't know. So anyway, so I got to get this wrapped up, as I got to get to the next thing, which is going to be a Go Game Go thing, which I think I set up for. Oh, good. I scheduled it. Good. All right. So I got a few more minutes here. I got about, yeah. So anyway, but a great show. If you haven't seen Symphony X, go see them. If you haven't heard Symphony X, please make yourself a playlist. And like I say, here's their set list. So there you go. It's there forever now. So make sure you check that out. Like I say, I just amazing stuff. And that set list was great. It was a fantastic, great and fantastic. Those are my words. I don't know. It's very inclusive of the different styles that they play. And Without You is one of the best ballads I've ever heard from a metal band. Master of Sorrow is another one that was on that the Alan Landy album. So make sure you check that out. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. But yeah, have fun listening to that. And then check out Heathen. Heathen is a part of what they call that. What did they call it? Bay Area thrash. So I do believe that like Anthrax, that's where they were, and it's great stuff. But Breaking the Silence is the title track to their first album. And that album, I was familiar with the cover, but I'd never heard the whole record. Now, if you need a really cool metal tune that I can't hear enough, that's Annihilator. So listen to Annihilator's song called King of the Kill. I saw it on a Wacken or Wacken video when they did a documentary about Wacken over in Germany. And I think they opened with it. And man, the crowd was in. All right, come on. All right, let's just do it the way it's intended. Because they have these little rip strips. I just said that. I just made that up. The rip strip. All right, now here's a little something that I ordered because I still have one more of theirs that I want to order. When I first saw that it was on sale, brand new on Amazon, I should have just ordered it, but I didn't. Now, this said, okay, I don't get it. I don't, unless they rewrapped it, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. This looks like this is trippy. I did not know this was going to be new. This is a great price for a new record. Wow. I think I got this for $25, and it's Judas Priest, Firepower. I put the artwork on the thumbnail, so it was kind of a preceding note. So great record. I've talked about it a million times. This is embossed. See, but look how beautiful. It's huge, and it's worth looking at because of its size. You don't grab this little tiny.
Oh, look at my little booklet. Oh, that's so cute.
No, it's not like that. It's like, damn, I need two hands. This is great. Wow. If you've not heard Firepower, if you're a little nervous about newer releases by some of your favorite bands, just do it, because this one is well worth it. Adjusted for inflation is probably what we used to pay for a record album. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So this was the right price, and this is still sealed, but it's embossed. It's really cool, guys. It's really neat. But yeah, this album has Firepower, Lightning Strike, which was one of the songs they played live recently. Evil Never Dies, Never the Heroes, Necromancer. I just listened to that. Children of the Sun, which is not the old version. This is a brand new song. Children of the Sun. Guardians, Rising from Ruins, Flamethrower. Oh man, Spectre, Traitor's Gate, No Surrender, Lone Wolf, and Sea of Red. Such a great, fantastic record, and it's great to have it. And I can't believe it's still sealed. That's too much. All right, folks. That's about it. I do want to say one other thing, actually a couple other things, but I just wanted to say for both of these concerts, I got actual tickets. That made me really happy, because I've got a couple of, nice souvenirs. It doesn't always happen like that anymore. Now, also real quick here, I wanted to say that, let's see, on this date, my buddy Lance was putting it out there today. The Devil Went Down to Georgia was released. The single was released in 1979 on this day. And Bowie's Let's Dance went number 1 in 1983. And who was playing guitar on that album? Stevie Ray Vaughan. Really cool stuff. Thanks, Lance. I appreciate that. Always appreciate your history lessons, Lance. He'll throw out things like that to us. Lance Jennings, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Another thing I did get the other day, just to let you know, it's going to have to be played on my all regions player, but it is Blake's 7. Now, you could think that this is a little extra, and I got to shut up here so I can get to the other show, but it's not. This is not extra tonight. I'm talking about Russell Allen from Symphony X was in Star One. If you haven't listened to Star One, do it. They have 3 albums out now. So the first one dealt with a bunch of Ari and Anthony Lucason's favorite outer space science fiction movies. So Outland, and then he talked about Doctor Who, Star Trek 4, Star Wars, and all these different things. Enemy Mine was on there, 2001, Space Odyssey. But one of them is about Blake's 7. So not just a throwaway line. Really cool though. Interesting stuff. I can't wait to throw this on there and watch it. So it should be cool. All right, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with my guest, Mike Floros. So be sure you come back 4:00 tomorrow afternoon, and we will be away with Mike, and it should be a lot of fun, folks. So be here for that. In the meantime, rest well and hop on over to Go Game Go, because I am going to be playing some games. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.